First contact, the arrival, the vast expanse of space had always held humanity's fascination, but never before had it felt so tangible, so immediate. As the massive alien vessel breached Earth's atmosphere, its sleek, obsidian surface reflecting the sun's rays, the world collectively held its breath. This was it, the moment that would forever change the course of human history. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead xenobiologist at NASA's Astrobiology Institute, watched the live feed with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Her life's work had led to this moment, yet nothing could have truly prepared her for the reality of first contact. As the ship descended towards the designated landing zone in the Mojave Desert, she felt a flutter of excitement in her chest. "Dr. Chen, you're needed in the command center immediately," a voice crackled through her earpiece. She tore her eyes away from the screen and hurried down the corridor, her mind racing with possibilities. The command center was a flurry of activity. Monitors blinked with incoming data, technicians spoke in urgent whispers, and military personnel stood at attention, their faces a mask of professional calm. At the center of it all stood General Marcus Hawthorne, his steely gaze fixed on the main screen. "Dr. Chen, glad you could join us," he said, his voice gruff but not unkind. "We're about to make history, and we need your expertise." Samantha nodded, her eyes drawn to the live feed. The alien ship had touched down, kicking up a cloud of desert dust. For a moment, everything was still. Then, with a hiss of depressurization, a section of the ship's smooth exterior began to shift and change. "My God," someone whispered, "it's opening." A ramp extended from the ship, touching the sun-baked earth. Samantha leaned forward, her heart pounding. This was it. First contact. The first figure to emerge was tall and slender, easily 7 feet in height. Its skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting colors like oil on water. Where a human would have had hair, this being had what appeared to be fine, crystalline structures that caught the light. Its eyes, large and almond-shaped, were a deep, mesmerizing purple. "Bictal," Samantha murmured, a scientific mind kicking into overdrive. Humanoid in basic structure, but clearly adapted for a different environment. Fascinating. More aliens followed the first, each similar in appearance, but with subtle variations in the patterns on their skin and the structure of their crystalline hair. They moved with a fluid grace that seemed almost choreographed. "General," Samantha said, her voice barely above a whisper, "we need to establish communication. Peaceful communication." Hawthorne nodded grimly. "Agreed. But how do we even begin to communicate with beings so alien?" As if in answer to his question, the lead alien raised a hand. From its palm emanated a soft, pulsing light. The light expanded, forming intricate patterns in the air before coalescing into recognizable shapes, Earth's continents. They're trying to communicate," Samantha breathed. "General, we need to respond. Show them we understand." Hawthorne barked orders, and within moments, a holographic projector was activated. Samantha stepped forward, her mind racing. What could she project that would convey peace, understanding, a desire to communicate? In a flash of inspiration, she input a series of commands. The projector hummed to life, displaying the periodic table of elements. It was a universal language, one that any spacefaring civilization would surely recognize. The aliens' reaction was immediate. Their crystalline structures vibrated, creating a soft, melodious sound. The lead alien stepped forward, its large eyes fixed on Samantha. It raised its hand again, and this time, the light formed into a complex molecular structure. Samantha gasped. It's the structure of DNA. They understand. They're scientists too." The tension in the command center eased slightly. This was a language they could work with, the language of science. Over the next few hours, a rudimentary form of communication was established. The aliens, who called themselves the Zarquin, had traveled across vast distances of space in search of other intelligent life. Earth, with its diverse biosphere and emerging technology, had caught their attention. As night fell over the Moldov, temporary structures were erected around the landing site. Scientists, linguists, and diplomats from around the world were flown in. The first official meeting between humans and Zarquin was scheduled for the following morning. Samantha barely slept that night, her mind buzzing with questions and theories. As the first rays of sunlight painted the desert sky, she made her way to the makeshift conference area, her heart pounding with anticipation. The Zarquin delegation entered, led by the one who had first emerged from the ship. Up close, Samantha could see the intricate patterns swirling beneath their translucent skin like living tattoos. "Greetings," the lead Zarquin said, its voice a melodious trill that somehow formed recognizable words. "I am Zoltar, chief scientist of the Zarquin exploration fleet." Samantha stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Welcome to Earth, Zoltar. I am Dr. Samantha Chen, xenobiologist. On behalf of humanity, we extend our hands in friendship and our minds in curiosity." Zoltar's eyes shimmered, the purple depths seeming to swirl. "Your words are most welcome, Dr. Chen. We have traveled far in search of beings such as yourselves. Your world, it teems with life, with potential. We are eager to learn, to share knowledge." As the meeting progressed, it became clear that the Zarquin were indeed primarily scientists and explorers. They spoke of vast networks of inhabited worlds, of technologies beyond human imagination, of the wonders and dangers that lurked in the depths of space. But it was when Zoltar produced a small, spherical device that things took an unexpected turn. The device hovered in the air, projecting a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. "Your world," Zoltar said, a note of urgency in its melodious voice, "lies on the edge of a cosmic crossroads. You are young, your technology still developing, but your position, it is one of great strategic importance." Samantha frowned, a sense of unease creeping over her. "Strategic importance? I don't understand." Zoltar's crystalline structures vibrated, producing a sound like wind chimes in a storm. "There are others out there, Dr. Chen. Others who do not share our dedication to science and exploration. They seek resources, territory, power. Your world, with its abundant life and strategic position, would be most valuable to them." The implications hit Samantha like a physical blow. Earth wasn't just making first contact, it was being drawn into a vast, interstellar conflict it knew nothing about. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the desert landscape, Samantha realized that this was only the beginning. The arrival of the Zarquin hadn't just opened up new scientific frontiers, it had thrust humanity onto a cosmic stage, with stakes higher than anyone could have imagined. The rest of the day passed in a blur of meetings, discussions, and frantic communications with governments around the world. As night fell once again over the Moldov, Samantha found herself standing outside, gazing up at the stars. They no longer seemed distant and unreachable, but immediate and fraught with both promise and peril. A soft sound made her turn. Zoltar stood nearby, its iridescent skin glowing softly in the moonlight. "Your world is beautiful," the alien scientist said, its voice a gentle hum. "We have seen many planets, Dr. Chen, but few with such vibrancy, such diversity of life." Samantha nodded, a lump forming in her throat. "And now we know it's in danger." Zoltar's crystalline structures shimmered. "Knowledge is the first step towards preparation, Dr. Chen. Your species has shown remarkable adaptability, creativity. These qualities will serve you well in the times to come." As Samantha pondered these words, a streak of light crossed the sky, a meteor, burning up in Earth's atmosphere. Or was it? In this new reality, could she be sure of anything? One thing was certain, the world had changed irrevocably. Humanity's place in the universe had been redefined, and as Samantha stood there, under the vast canopy of stars, she knew that the real challenges and opportunities were only just beginning. The first day of this new era was drawing to a close, but the story of humanity's cosmic awakening was just beginning to unfold. Cultural clash, misunderstandings, and revelations. The dawn of Earth's second day of alien contact broke with an unexpected cacophony. Sirens blared across the Modav base camp, jolting Dr. Samantha Chen from her fitful sleep. She scrambled to her feet, heart pounding, and rushed outside her temporary quarters. The scene that greeted her was chaos incarnate. Soldiers ran in formation, their faces etched with determination and fear. Scientists huddled in groups, gesticulating wildly, and at the center of it all, a pulsating, translucent dome enveloped the Zarquin ship. "What in the world?" Samantha muttered, squinting against the harsh desert sun. General Hawthorne appeared at her side, his face grim. "Dr. Chen, we have a situation. That force field just appeared out of nowhere. We can't get through to the Zarquin." Samantha's mind raced. Yesterday's promising first contact now seemed like a distant dream. "Have you tried hailing them?" "Using the communication protocols we established." "Nothing's getting through," Hawthorne growled. "It's like they've gone dark." As if on cue, a familiar melodious voice rang out, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Greetings, humans. We apologize for the alarm. This is a standard security measure. Please remain calm." The shimmering form of Zalto materialized before them, a holographic projection of startling clarity. "Zoltor," Samantha exclaimed. "What's going on? Why the force field?" The alien scientist's crystalline structures vibrated in what Samantha had come to recognize as discomfort. "I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. One of your devices triggered our ship's defense systems." Hawthorne stepped forward, his posture rigid. "What device? We haven't deployed any." He was cut off by a sheepish voice from behind. That might be my fault, sir." All eyes turned to a young soldier clutching what looked like a smartphone. The man swallowed hard. I was just trying to take a selfie with the ship in the background, for my Instagram." The absurdity of the situation hit Samantha like a ton of bricks. Here they were, on the brink of interstellar diplomacy, and it had all been derailed by social media. Zolta's hologram flickered, its purple eyes widening. "Selfie, Instagram. I'm afraid our translators are having difficulty with these terms." And so began one of the most surreal cultural exchanges in human history. For the next hour, Samantha found herself explaining the concept of social media to an increasingly fascinated alien scientist. The force field remained in place, but the tension in the camp gradually eased as the bizarre conversation unfolded. "So, let me ensure I understand," Zolta said, its melodious voice tinged with wonder. "Your species voluntarily shares personal information and images with a global network for the purpose of validation from others." Samantha chuckled nervously. "Well, when you put it like that, it does sound a bit strange. But it's more than that. It's about connection, sharing experiences, staying in touch with friends and family." Zolta's crystalline structures shimmered in what Samantha was beginning to recognize as excitement. "Fascinating. This social media seems to be a form of collective consciousness, a hive mind of sorts. Perhaps we underestimated your species' technological advancement." Hawthorne cleared his throat. "That's all very interesting, but can we get back to the matter at hand? The force field." Yes," Zolto said. "I believe we can safely deactivate it now. The selfie device poses no threat. However, this incident has highlighted a critical need for more comprehensive cultural exchange." As the force field shimmered and disappeared, Samantha couldn't help but laugh. "I never thought I'd be giving an alien a crash course in Instagram." But as the day progressed, it became clear that the selfie incident was just the tip of the iceberg. The cultural gaps between humans and Zarquin were vast and often hilarious. The Zarquin were baffled by the concept of pets, unable to comprehend why humans would cohabitate with non-sentient species for emotional fulfillment. When shown pictures of dogs and cats, they theorized that these must be some form of organic surveillance devices. Human food was another source of confusion. The Zarquin, who absorbed nutrients through their skin, were both fascinated and horrified by the human digestive process. When Samantha attempted to explain the concept of cooking, Zoltar asked in all seriousness if humans used their heat-producing orifices to prepare food. But it was human music that truly captured the aliens' imagination. When a junior scientist, in an attempt to lighten the mood, played some pop music through their phone, the reaction was unprecedented. The Zarquin's crystalline structures began to vibrate in complex patterns, creating an otherworldly symphony that harmonized perfectly with the human music. This is remarkable," Zoltar exclaimed, its entire body pulsating with the rhythm. "We had no idea sound could be arranged in such a manner. This must be shared with our people immediately." And so, in a turn of events no one could have predicted, Earth's first cultural export to an alien civilization was a playlist of top 40 hits. As night fell once again over the Moldave, the mood in the camp had shifted dramatically. The fear and tension of the morning had given way to an atmosphere of excitement and mutual curiosity. Humans and Zarquin mingled freely, each group eager to learn more about the other. Samantha found herself in deep conversation with Zoltar, discussing everything from human art to Zarquin philosophy. As they talked, she began to realize that despite their alien appearance, the Zarquin were driven by many of the same fundamental desires as humans: the thirst for knowledge, the need for connection, the drive to explore and understand the universe around them. "You know, Zoltar," Samantha said, gazing up at the star-studded sky, "when you first arrived, I thought the biggest challenge would be communicating, finding a common language. But it turns out we have more in common than I ever imagined." Zoltar's crystalline structures shimmered softly. "Indeed, Dr. Chen, it seems the universe has a way of bringing kindred spirits together, even across the vast gulfs of space." As they continued to talk, a commotion near the Zarquin ship caught their attention. A group of aliens had emerged, each carrying what looked like intricate, glowing sculptures. "Ah," Zoltar said, a note of excitement in its voice. "It seems my colleagues have been inspired by your music. They've created visual representations of the sound waves, a common art form among our people." Samantha watched in awe as the Zarquin arranged their creations, forming a stunning, otherworldly display that pulsed and shifted in time with the music still playing in the background. Human scientists and soldiers gathered around, their faces lit with wonder. It was a moment of pure, unbridled cultural exchange, alien art inspired by human music, brought to life under an Earth sky. Samantha felt a lump form in her throat. This, she realized, was what first contact was truly about. Not just the exchange of scientific knowledge or technological advancements, but the sharing of the intangible things that made each species unique: their art, their music, their dreams. As the impromptu art exhibition continued, Samantha noticed General Hawthorne standing off to the side, a bemused expression on his face. "You know, Dr. Chen," he said as she approached, "when I woke up this morning, I thought we might be on the brink of an interstellar incident. Instead, I'm watching aliens make sculptures based on Taylor Swift songs. I'm not sure our training covered this scenario." Samantha laughed. "I don't think anyone's training could have prepared us for this, General. But isn't it wonderful? We're making connections, building bridges. This is how we build understanding." Hawthorne nodded thoughtfully. "I suppose you're right. It's just not what I expected." "I don't think any of us expected this," Samantha replied. "But that's the beauty of it. We're writing a new chapter in human history, one surprise at a time." As the night wore on, the cultural exchange continued. Humans taught Zarquin the basics of dancing, leading to a surreal but joyous scene of aliens attempting the Macarena. In return, the Zarquin demonstrated their own form of artistic expression, manipulating the bioluminescent patterns on their skin to create stunning light shows. But amidst the celebration, Samantha couldn't shake the memory of Zoltar's warning from the day before. Earth's strategic importance, the potential threats lurking in the cosmos, these were realities they couldn't ignore, no matter how wonderful this cultural exchange was. As if sensing her thoughts, Zolta appeared at her side. "You seem troubled, Dr. Chen." Samantha sighed. "I was just thinking about what you told us yesterday, about Earth's position and the potential dangers. How do we prepare for that? How do we protect ourselves from threats we can barely comprehend?" Zolta's purple eyes seemed to swirl with depth. "The journey ahead will not be easy, Dr. Chen. But nights like this, they give me hope. Your species has shown a remarkable capacity for adaptation, for finding common ground even in the face of profound differences. These qualities will serve you well in the challenges to come." As they stood there, watching the mingling of two species from different corners of the galaxy, Samantha felt a surge of determination. Yes, the road ahead would be difficult. Yes, there were threats and challenges they had yet to face. But they had made a start, a connection. And sometimes that was all you needed to change the course of history. Little did they know, as the night of music and art and cultural exchange unfolded, that their newfound alliance would soon be put to the test. For out in the depths of space, forces were moving, drawn by the news of Earth's emergence onto the galactic stage. The next challenge was already racing towards them, faster than they could possibly imagine. But for now, under the canopy of stars, humans and Zarquin celebrated their differences and their similarities, laying the foundation for a partnership that would shape the destiny of both their species. The universe, vast and mysterious, watched and waited as the newest players on the cosmic stage took their first tentative steps together into an uncertain but thrilling future. Unexpected alliance, facing a common threat. The euphoria of cultural exchange was shattered 3 days later when the sky above Earth erupted in a dazzling, terrifying spectacle. Dr. Samantha Chen was jolted awake by urgent alarms, her heart pounding as she rushed to the command center. "Status report." General Hawthorne barked as Samantha entered. A young lieutenant, her face pale, responded, "Sir, multiple unidentified objects have entered Earth's orbit. They're not Zarquin." Samantha's blood ran cold. This was it, the threat Zolta had warned them about. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and Zolta materialized beside them, its usually melodious voice tight with urgency. "We've identified the vessels. They belong to the Krothac Dominion, a warlike species known for strip mining inhabited worlds." "Strip mining?" Samantha gasped. "But Earth is teeming with life." Zolta's crystalline structures vibrated ominously. "The Krothac care little for organic life. They seek rare elements, often found in abundance on life-bearing worlds." General Hawthorne's jaw clenched. "What are we up against? What kind of firepower do they have?" "Their technology far surpasses your current capabilities," Zolta said grimly. "But we may have an advantage they don't expect." "Which is?" Samantha asked, desperate for any glimmer of hope. Zolta's purple eyes seemed to glow. "Us. The Krothac don't know we're here, and they certainly don't know about our recent cultural exchange." As if on cue, a deafening boom shook the command center. Outside, the sky lit up with sickly green energy beams, the opening salvo of the Krothac invasion. "We need a plan, fast," Hawthorne growled. Samantha's mind raced. Then, in a flash of inspiration, she turned to Zolta. "The force field. The one your ship activated during the selfie incident. Can it be expanded?" Zolta's crystalline structures shimmered with excitement. "Brilliant, Dr. Chen. We could create a planetary shield, but we'd need an enormous power source." "What about music?" Samantha suggested, remembering how the Zarquin had reacted to Earth's tunes. "You said sound arranged in specific patterns was new to you. Could we use that somehow?" Zolta's eyes widened. Yes. We could modulate the shield frequency using your music patterns. It would make the shield unpredictable, harder for the Krothac to breach." General Hawthorne looked skeptical. "You're telling me we're going to defend Earth with a playlist?" Samantha grinned, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Not just any playlist, General. the most epic playlist the galaxy has ever seen. What followed was a whirlwind of activity. As Krithak ships rained destruction from above, a most unlikely defense was cobbled together. The Zaraquin worked feverishly to expand their force field technology, while Earth's greatest minds, musicians, sound engineers, and physicists, collaborated on the most important mixtape in human history. Classical symphonies were layered with pulsing electronica, tribal drum beats merged with soaring rock anthems. Every genre, every rhythm, every beat that humanity had ever produced was woven into a tapestry of sound designed to power the most advanced alien technology. As the Krithak breached the atmosphere, the makeshift planetary shield flickered to life. The effect was immediate and stunning. The sickly green energy beams of the Krithak weapons struck the shield and dissipated in a shower of harmonious light. In low Earth orbit, aboard the Krithak command ship, Warlord Vexkor raged at his subordinates. What is this trickery? How are these primitives resisting us? His science officer, tentacles twitching nervously, replied, "Unknown Warlord. The shield's frequency it's like nothing we've ever encountered. It's constantly shifting, adapting. Our weapons can't penetrate it." Back on Earth, in a scene that would have been comical, if not for the dire circumstances, Dr. Samantha Chen found herself frantically adjusting a cosmic DJ booth. She worked alongside the world's top sound engineers and Zarquin scientists, fine-tuning the musical shield that stood between humanity and annihilation. "We need more bass," shouted a Zarquin scientist, its crystalline structures vibrating intensely. The low frequencies strengthened the shield's integrity. Samantha nodded, sliding faders and twisting knobs. Pumping up the bass. "Let's see how the Krithak like a little earth-shaking dubstep." As if in response, the shield above pulsed with renewed vigor, its shimmering surface now undulating in time with the thunderous bassline. In orbit, the Krithak fleet was in disarray. Their energy weapons, capable of reducing mountains to rubble, fizzled harmlessly against the musical barrier. Each attempt to breach the shield was met with a new symphony of sound, a constantly evolving defense that left the invaders baffled and increasingly frustrated. Warlord Vexikor slammed his tentacles against his command console. "Impossible. How can mere sound defeat our mighty weapons?" As the battle raged on, something unexpected began to happen. The music powering Earth's defense began to affect the Krithak in ways no one could have predicted. The complex harmonies, the driving rhythms, the soaring melodies, they wormed their way into the alien invaders' consciousness. On the Krithak ships, crew members found themselves swaying to the beat, their movements unconsciously syncing with the pulsing shield below. Some began to hum, others to tap their tentacles in time with the music. The invasion fleet, primed for destruction, was instead being serenaded into submission. Warlord Vexkor watched in horror as his fearsome army succumbed to the power of Earth's music. What is happening to us? Back on Earth, Samantha and her team worked tirelessly, their fingers flying over consoles, adjusting the musical mix on the fly. They threw everything they had into the cosmic soundscape, from Beethoven to Beyoncé, from Gregorian chants to gangster rap. "It's working," Zoltar exclaimed, its purple eyes wide with wonder. The Krithak fleet, they're not attacking anymore. They're listening. General Hawthorne, who had been coordinating Earth's conventional defenses, stepped into the makeshift DJ booth. His expression was a mix of disbelief and grudging admiration. "I never thought I'd say this, but keep that music playing, Dr. Chen. It might just be saving the world." As hours turned into days, the standoff continued. The Krithak fleet remained in orbit, their weapons silent, seemingly transfixed by the unending concert emanating from the planet below. Earth's musical shield became a non-stop performance, with musicians from around the world volunteering their talents to keep the cosmic playlist going. It was K-pop that finally broke the stalemate. As a catchy Korean pop song pulsed through the shield, the Krithak command ship suddenly hailed Earth. Warlord Vexcor's face appeared on the screens in the command center, his tentacles waving in what looked suspiciously like dance moves. Earthlings, this music of yours. We have never encountered anything like it in all our conquests. We must know more. Samantha exchanged bewildered glances with General Hawthorne and Zoltar. This was not how any of them had expected first contact with a hostile alien species to go. We'd be happy to share our music with you, Samantha ventured cautiously. In exchange for, not invading our planet. Vexcor's eye stalks quivered with what might have been excitement. Invade. Who speaks of invasion? We came seeking resources, but we have found something far more valuable. This music, it stirs something within us. We must learn its secrets. And so, in a turn of events that would baffle historians and intergalactic diplomats for centuries to come, Earth's first interstellar peace treaty was negotiated over a shared Spotify playlist. The Krthak, their warlike nature soothed by the universal language of music, agreed to abandon their invasion in exchange for a comprehensive collection of Earth's musical history. They even offered trade agreements, proposing to exchange some of their advanced technology for musical instruments and recording equipment. As the Krthak fleet prepared to depart, their ships now pulsing with the beat of Earth's greatest hits, Samantha found herself standing between General Hawthorne and Zoltar, watching the once threatening armada dance its way out of Earth's orbit. "I can't believe it," Hawthorne muttered. "We just defeated an alien invasion with the power of music. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes." Zoltar's crystalline structures shimmered with what Samantha had come to recognize as amusement. "Perhaps this is the true power of humanity, General. Not your weapons or your technology, but your ability to create, to express, to touch the souls of beings from across the cosmos with your art." Samantha nodded, a smile playing on her lips. First the Zaraquin, now the Krthak. It seems Earth's greatest export to the galaxy might just be our culture. As the last Krthak ship winked out of sight, its hull vibrating with a bass-heavy EDM track, Samantha couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. They had faced the threat of annihilation and emerged not just victorious, but with a new appreciation for the power of human creativity. The stars twinkled above, seeming to dance in time with the music still pulsing through the planetary shield. Earth had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and it had done so with a song in its heart and a beat that can make even the most fearsome alien invaders bust a move. As news of the cosmic concert spread around the world, humanity found itself united in a way it never had been before. The realization that their art, their music, their creativity had quite literally saved the world sparked a renaissance of cultural expression. Samantha knew that challenges lay ahead. Earth was now irrevocably part of a larger galactic community, with all the complexities that entailed. But as she watched humans and Zarquin dancing together under the stars, celebrating their unlikely victory, she felt a surge of hope. Whatever the universe had in store for them, humanity would face it with open minds, open hearts, and a really good soundtrack. Human ingenuity, turning the tides. The euphoria of Earth's musical victory over the Krthak invasion lingered for weeks, but as the adrenaline faded, a sobering reality set in. Earth was now irrevocably part of a vast, complex galactic community, and not all of its members were as easily swayed by a catchy tune. Dr. Samantha Chen found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity. The United Nations had established a new agency, the Interstellar Relations and Defense Organization, IRDO, and she had been appointed as its chief scientific advisor. "We need to leverage every advantage we have," General Hawthorne said during a high-level briefing. "The music shield was a stroke of luck, but we can't count on that working twice." Zoltar, now Earth's official Zarquin ambassador, chimed in. "Indeed, the galaxy is vast and filled with species whose motivations and technologies we can scarcely comprehend. Earth must be prepared." Samantha nodded, her mind racing. "What we need is a uniquely human approach. Something that combines our creativity, our adaptability, and our technology in a way no one else in the galaxy has thought of. It was then that an unlikely hero stepped forward. Joey the Whiz Kid Martinez, a 19-year-old tech prodigy known for his viral YouTube videos and outlandish inventions, had been recruited by IRDO for his out-of-the-box thinking. "I think I might have an idea," Joey said, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "What if we could turn the entire internet into a galactic-scale quantum computer?" The room fell silent. All eyes turned to the young inventor. "Explain," Hawthorne said, his tone a mix of skepticism and curiosity. Joey's words tumbled out in a rush of enthusiasm. "Okay, so we know the Zarquin have some pretty advanced quantum communication tech, right? And we've got this massive network of interconnected devices, smartphones, laptops, smart fridges, you name it. What if we could use the Zarquin tech to quantum entangle every internet-connected device on the planet?" Zoltar's crystalline structures vibrated with interest. Intriguing. A planetary-scale quantum network could indeed have immense computational power. "But what would we use it for?" Samantha asked, her mind already racing with possibilities. Joey grinned. "Everything. Galactic threat detection, advanced simulations, maybe even a way to communicate instantly across the galaxy. And here's the kicker. We disguise it all as a massive multiplayer online game." The room erupted in a cacophony of voices, some excited, others skeptical. But Samantha felt a familiar thrill, the same one she'd experienced when they'd first proposed using music to power the planetary shield. "It's crazy," she said, a smile spreading across her face. "It's absolutely crazy, but it just might work." And so began one of the most ambitious projects in human history. Operation Cosmic Link, as it came to be known, was a dizzying fusion of cutting-edge physics, cloud computing, and good old-fashioned human fun. The cover story was simple: Galaxia Online, the most immersive, expansive MMO ever created. Players could explore a virtual galaxy, build civilizations, and engage in epic space battles. What they didn't know was that every action in the game was actually contributing to Earth's new galactic defense system. Zarquin scientists worked alongside human developers to create the Quantum Entanglement Network. Joey and his team of young tech geniuses designed the game interface and mechanics. And Samantha oversaw it all, marveling at the beautiful insanity of it. As Galaxia Online launched, it became an overnight sensation. Millions of players logged on, eager to explore the virtual cosmos. Little did they know that as they played, they were helping to scan the real galaxy for threats, process vast amounts of cosmic data, and run complex simulations of potential alien encounters. The IRDO command center became a bizarre mix of military precision and gamer culture. Holographic star maps shared space with leaderboards. Serious-faced analysts called out strategic maneuvers using gamer tags. "We've got a level 80 Zwarthan warfleet entering the Orion sector," an analyst would shout. "Deploy the Nebula Knights Guild to intercept." Hawthorne would reply, having embraced the new paradigm with surprising enthusiasm. But it wasn't just about defense. The quantum internet began yielding scientific breakthroughs at an unprecedented rate. Medical researchers used its vast computational power to simulate complex biological processes, leading to cures for diseases that had long plagued humanity. Climatologists leveraged it to create hyper-accurate models of Earth's ecosystem, providing solutions to environmental challenges. And then, 6 months after the launch of Galaxia Online, the system detected something that changed everything. Samantha was in the middle of a briefing when Joey burst into the room, his face pale. "We've picked up a signal," he said, his voice trembling. "Something big, really big." The holographic display flickered to life, showing a massive object hurtling through space towards Earth. It was like nothing they'd ever seen, a structure the size of a small moon, its surface a maze of geometric patterns that seemed to shift and change as they watched. "What is it?" Hawthorne demanded. Zoltar's crystalline structures vibrated with a frequency Samantha had never seen before. It's a precursor artifact, the alien scientist said, all evident in its melodious voice. The Zarquin have found traces of this ancient civilization, but never anything this large or intact. And it's coming here? Why? Samantha asked, her mind reeling with the implications. Joey cleared his throat. That's the thing. According to our analysis, it's responding to us, to Galaxia Online. Somehow, our game, our quantum network, it activated this thing. The room fell silent as the weight of this revelation sank in. Humanity's clever defense strategy had not only protected Earth, but had inadvertently signaled to an ancient, unimaginably advanced alien artifact. So what do we do? Hawthorne asked, his gruff voice uncharacteristically quiet. Samantha looked around the room, at the faces of humans and aliens alike, all united in this moment of discovery and trepidation. She thought about how far they'd come, how the unlikeliest ideas had saved them before. We do what humanity does best, she said, a smile playing on her lips. We adapt. We create. We turn the impossible into the possible. Joey, how quickly can we modify Galaxia Online to attempt communication with the artifact? Joey's eyes lit up with the fire of a new challenge. Give me 48 hours and a lot of coffee. As the room burst into action, Samantha felt a familiar mix of fear and exhilaration. Once again, humanity found itself facing the unknown, armed with nothing but its wits, its technology, and its boundless creativity. The precursor artifact loomed ever closer, a cosmic mystery hurtling towards Earth. But this time, they wouldn't face it with weapons or shields. They would meet it with the best of what humanity had to offer, its imagination, its ingenuity, and its unquenchable thirst for knowledge. As Samantha watched Joey and his team dive into their work, fingers flying over keyboards, voices raised in excited discussion, she knew that whatever happened next, it would be a testament to the indomitable spirit of human ingenuity. The next chapter in Earth's cosmic adventure was about to begin, and it promised to be the most exciting one yet. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what this young, creative, endlessly surprising species would do next. A new era, interstellar cooperation. The precursor artifact hung in Earth's orbit like a second moon, its geometric patterns shifting in hypnotic waves that captivated billions of watchers below. For 2 weeks, Joey the Whiz-Kid Martinez and his team had worked tirelessly, transforming Galaxia Online into humanity's most ambitious attempt at xenoarchaeology. Dr. Samantha Chen stood in the ILDO command center, her heart racing as Joey initiated the first contact protocol. Here goes nothing, he muttered, pressing the enter key with a flourish. The command center's main screen erupted in a dazzling display of fractals and complex mathematical equations. It was as if the artifact was speaking directly to the quantum internet, bypassing traditional forms of communication entirely. It's beautiful, Zoltar breathed, its crystalline structures vibrating in harmony with the shifting patterns. Samantha nodded, her eyes wide. But what does it mean? As if in answer, the fractal patterns began to coalesce, forming recognizable shapes. Stars, planets, galaxies, an entire cosmic cartography unfolded before their eyes. It's a map, Joey exclaimed, but not just of our galaxy. This is showing us the entire observable universe. General Hawthorne leaned forward, his brow furrowed. And what's that blinking light? In the center of the map, a pulsing beacon highlighted a location far beyond the Milky Way. Zoltar's voice was hushed with awe. If I'm interpreting this correctly, it's an invitation. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The precursors, an ancient civilization of unimaginable advancement, were inviting humanity to the cosmic equivalent of a roundtable discussion. Well, Samantha said, breaking the silence, I guess we'd better RSVP. What followed was a whirlwind of activity unlike anything Earth had ever seen. The prospect of meeting the precursors galvanized the planet into action. Old rivalries were set aside as nations pooled their resources. The Zaraquin shared their most advanced propulsion technology, and at the heart of it all was Galaxia Online, its millions of players unknowingly contributing to the most ambitious space mission in history. We're calling it Project Cosmic Leap, Samantha announced at a global press conference. A joint human Zaraquin mission to the stars, powered by the collective will and imagination of our entire planet. The ship they built was a marvel of human ingenuity and alien technology. Sleek and silver, it resembled a massive, elongated toe drop. Its heart was a quantum drive that could fold space-time, allowing for faster-than-light travel. But its true power lay in its connection to Earth's quantum internet. The ship isn't just controlled from Earth, Joey explained to an awestruck audience. In a very real sense, it is Earth. Every player in Galaxia Online, every connected device, they're all part of the ship's systems. As the day of launch approached, excitement reached a fever pitch. Galaxia Online's player base swelled to billions. The game had evolved, with players now directly contributing to the mission's success through complex minigames and strategic decision-making. Finally, the day arrived. Samantha, Joey, Zolta, and a hand-picked crew of scientists and diplomats boarded the ship, which had been christened Cosmic Voyager. As the countdown began, Samantha felt a moment of vertigo. They were about to embark on a journey beyond anything humanity had ever attempted, guided by the cryptic invitation of an ancient, unknowable civilization. Cosmic Voyager, you will go for launch, came the voice from Mission Control. With a silent ripple of distorted space-time, the ship vanished from Earth orbit. The journey was both instantaneous and eternal. The crew experienced a timeless moment where past, present, and future seemed to coexist. When reality reasserted itself, they found themselves in a realm that defied comprehension. They were in the heart of a vast structure that seemed to exist between galaxies. Streams of stars flowed like rivers, and the very fabric of space-time appeared malleable. "Welcome, children of Earth and Zaraquin," a voice echoed in their minds. It wasn't sound, but pure thought, translated perfectly into a form they could understand. "We have waited eons for one such as you to join us." Beings of pure energy materialized before them, their forms shifting and flowing like cosmic auroras. You're the precursors," Samantha managed to ask, her scientific mind struggling to process what she was seeing. "We have been called many things by many civilizations," the thought voice replied. "But yes, we are those you seek." What followed was a cosmic symposium beyond imagination. The precursors shared knowledge that revolutionized human understanding of the universe. They spoke of dimensions beyond the known four, of the true nature of dark matter and dark energy, of the cyclical life of universes. But more than that, they spoke of responsibility. "We have watched your species," they said. "Your creativity, your adaptability, your capacity for both destruction and creation. You stand at a crossroads." They showed visions of possible futures, Earth as a beacon of interstellar cooperation, a hub of art and science that enriched the galaxy, but also darker futures where humanity's worst impulses led to conflict and suffering on a cosmic scale. "The choice," the precursors said, "is yours." As the cosmic conference drew to a close, the precursors left the crew with a parting gift, a seed of their technology, a crystalline structure that pulsed with unimaginable power. "This is not a weapon," they warned. "It is a tool of creation, of connection. Use it wisely." The return journey was as mind-bending as the first. When Cosmic Voyager reappeared in Earth orbit, barely an hour had passed for those left behind. But for the crew, it had been a lifetime of learning and discovery. As they stepped off the ship, greeted by cheering crowds and a world eager for news, Samantha felt the weight of their responsibility. They carried knowledge that could transform human civilization, for better or worse. "So," General Hawthorne said, his gruff voice unable to hide his awe, "what happens now?" Samantha looked at Joey, at Zalta, at the diverse crew of humans and aliens who had shared this incredible journey. She thought of the millions of Galaxia Online players who had made it possible, of the global cooperation that had sent them to the stars. Now, she said, a smile spreading across her face, we build the future. Together. In the years that followed, Earth became a crucible of innovation and cooperation. The precursor seed crystal, integrated into the global quantum network, accelerated scientific progress at an unprecedented rate. Clean energy, space exploration, medical breakthroughs, human civilization advanced in leaps and bounds. Galaxia Online evolved from a game into a global platform for education, scientific collaboration, and interstellar diplomacy. Through it, humanity reached out to other civilizations, forming alliances, trading knowledge and culture. Earth's cities were transformed, becoming marvels of eco-friendly, zero-emission technology. Towering arcologies housed millions in comfort, their spiraling forms crowned with lush gardens. Quantum transporters replaced traditional vehicles, eliminating traffic and pollution. In orbit, a growing network of space habitats and research stations formed the seeds of humanity's expansion into the cosmos. The Moon, Mars, and the asteroid belt became new frontiers, their harsh environments tamed by technologies born from the fusion of human ingenuity and alien wisdom. But perhaps the most profound change was in humanity itself. Exposure to the vastness of the cosmos and the diversity of alien life fostered a new perspective. Old divisions of nation, race, and creed faded in importance as humans increasingly saw themselves as citizens of Earth and of the galaxy. Art and culture flourished in this new era. Musicians composed symphonies that spanned light years, play through the quantum network like orchestras on 100 worlds. Painters and sculptors worked in mediums that boggled the mind, creating works that existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions. Yet, true to the precursor's warning, challenges remained. Not all of humanity embraced this new future with open arms. There were those who feared change, who saw the influx of alien influences as a threat to human identity. Balancing progress with preservation became an ongoing struggle. And beyond Earth, the galaxy remained a place of wonders and dangers. New allies were made, but so too were new adversaries encountered. Humanity's journey among the stars would not be without its perils. But as Samantha Chen looked out at the glittering expanse of the Milky Way from the observation deck of Harmony Station, Earth's first true interstellar port, she felt a sense of boundless optimism. In the span of a single lifetime, humanity had gone from a species confined to one world to a rising power in the galactic community. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a familiar voice said. Joey stepped up beside her, his boyish features now matured, but his eyes still sparkling with that same enthusiasm. Samantha nodded, smiling. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come." And it all started with a crazy idea to turn the internet into a giant quantum computer, Joey chuckled. "The best ideas always sound a little crazy at first," Samantha replied. "That's what makes them revolutionary." As they stood there, watching ships from a dozen alien worlds dock at the station, Samantha felt a profound sense of pride. Humanity had faced its cosmic trial and emerged stronger, wiser, more united. The future stretched out before them, vast and full of possibilities. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever wonders or dangers the universe held in store, Samantha knew one thing for certain: humanity would face it all with the same spirit of creativity, adaptability, and irrepressible optimism that had brought them to the stars. The cosmic adventure was just beginning.